Hi guys, welcome back to Suicide Among Men, the Silent Epidemic. And I'm just coming to you really to give you a quick update. I've got an interview with a lady called Julie Newton this afternoon, and I'm quite nervous actually to speak to Julie. And I think I've worked out why. I think it's because, one, her son, who attempted to take his own life 2 years ago by overdosing on 150 paracetamol tablets, he's actually 21 and he would be in my class at school. Obviously, say he'd gone to my school. But because he's also from Hertfordshire, I think it just brings it home a bit more. And it's obviously very sad that someone of my age would want to end their life when obviously I've never been in the position to want to do that myself. So for me, I find it particularly emotionally tough to think that someone who could have potentially sat next to me at school would want to kill themselves. Another reason why I think there's a lot of similarities from speaking to Julie on the phone, obviously I haven't spoken to her in depth yet, I've managed to gauge this kind of perception of what I think her son may have been like, and there's a lot of character traits that are similar to my younger brother, and that is challenging for me because my younger brother has struggled with suicidal thoughts, particularly this last summer, and I've written a blog post about it. But yeah, it's particularly difficult for me when there's some kind of relation towards my brother, whereas I don't normally like to pretend that happened. But I think it will be very therapeutic for me to speak to Julie about it, because it's kind of like speaking to I think it will be kind of like speaking to my mum about it, in terms of I'm obviously not going to tell her my story, but by listening to it, I think that will give me some reassurance. I'm not going to go and tell her my story either, but just by hearing someone else speak about how they felt is reassuring, so that will be nice. Well, I think anyway. And another factor that I think will be an interesting one, and this is, I think, is the factor that I've become so nervous about, is Julie's son Jake has ongoing mental health problems and he's currently in rehab at the moment. And he is the only case study out of my three. So I've spoken to Stuart, I've spoken to Caroline, and now Julie. And he's the only case study who, for whatever reason, be it he was found, be it the method, he intended to take his own life, but for whatever reason it didn't work out. Thankfully, he was found by a passerby in a park. So I think that'll be an interesting element, and one I'm quite reflective on, as my Stuart and Caroline both said that one of the main things that they would love to do is be able to work out why, because they just still can't get their head around it. Particularly Stuart, he's completely in the dark about why his son would have wanted to do that. So therefore, it'll be quite interesting, because obviously Julie's had the chance now over the last 2 years to speak to her son Jake and find out why. So therefore, she might feel differently towards it now, or she might have been expecting something more negative. She might not be expecting what he said, and I think that creates a new dimension around it. So that will be very interesting, I think. But obviously, I'm going to have to be super sensitive with my questions, and the sensitivity is of the utmost importance throughout this whole programme, well, documentary. But I particularly think I need to be sensitive with Julie, because I'm not talking about a past event, I'm talking about an event, a present event really. Talking about past events with the inclusion of present events and future events particularly, because Julie never knows what kind of mood she's going to get her son in, and vice versa, which must be really difficult. But yeah, I'm pretty nervous for this one actually, but hopefully it'll be okay. But I'll let you know what happens, so see you later.